At the moment, we are 40 feet underground. We find ourselves in the emergency
Government Situation Center.
Government Situation Center. Gosh, I have a lot to learn. I'm joined by Mike. He is a volunteer here at the Diefenbunker. And if something had gone down, you would have been one of few people to actually be brought into the bunker and saved.
That's right. Well, I'd prefer not to say saved.
Well, literally, though.
We would have been come down here to help save as many lives as possible in Canada in the event of a nuclear war. Okay. So my job in the latter part of the Cold War was with Emergency Preparedness Canada, which was then a small agency responsible for the coordination of emergency management and civil defense in Canada. I would have been tasked in the event of an emergency that caused this place to be augmented to come and work down here. Okay.
And if something had happened, what would the Diefenbunker have been used for?
It was used to coordinate the activities of the federal government. Elements of the federal government would have come here to basically do its job, run government programs, coordinate with the provincial governments, and run the business of government from down here, protected so that they could do that.
And the Prime Minister would have been brought down here as well, right?
Prime Minister, we would have expected the Prime Minister, the Governor General, and a host of other bureaucrats and politicians who, by virtue of their jobs, had something to do with running the government in an emergency.
Right. So now, if a nuclear bomb had been dropped, would you have been able to bring your family down here as well?
No. For those people designated to come here, you came alone.
How can that be?
Well, you were required to make arrangements for your families. Some other arrangement. Didn't matter who you were, whether you were the Prime Minister, the Governor General, or me.
Yeah.
You made arrangements for your family.
Now,
there's no room for them all.
Right, exactly. So if a nuclear bomb had been dropped, how would the bunker have protected you and those that were inside it?
The construction of the bunker, first of all, is very strong. It's the walls are solid steel and concrete. We are underground. There's about 20 feet of hill on top. The building is totally enclosed in a cocoon of tightly packed gravel, which allows it to shake in the event of a bang. This thing could have withstood something called a 5 megaton bomb from about a mile away. 5 megatons, 250 times the size of a weapon used at Hiroshima.
So how much area would that have destroyed had that bomb been dropped?
If a bomb like that had been dropped over the Parliament buildings, it would have created a primary damage ring in excess of 5 kilometers of total destruction and 100% fatalities. There would then have been succeeding rings of damage and casualties out to about 16 or 17 kilometers in every direction. And that's before we get the big cloud of radiation, which would have drifted eastward towards Montreal because that's the prevailing wind. Terrible weapons.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, if people were to come to the museum, they would actually be able to take an hour-and-a-half guided tour with you to learn all of this. But there's a whole lot more that goes on here now as well. We've got the spy camp. We'll take you into the blast tunnel a little bit later in the show. In the meantime, head to their website and check out all of the different things to do. But this is so interesting. Stick around. There's still lots more coming up on CTV Morning Live.
Thank you.